effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
Ooh, we got high school football coming up at 7 o'clock. Churchill and Madison right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Tomorrow, 9th-ranked Texas A&M takes on Auburn, a game you can catch right here starting at 1:30. Incarnate Word takes on ACU at 6. While on Sunday, the Texans look to get their first win of the year against the Titans at noon, while the Cowboys, they play in primetime as Micah comes back to Dallas, 6 o'clock.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy Friday to all. That's right. You are listening right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, or maybe you're listening online at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or maybe you're watching live on YouTube. That's right. We stream all of our shows live on YouTube, where it's the Morning Huddle, the Blitz, or right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe, set the notification so you know when we go live so that you don't miss a thing. You're able to comment along with the show as it happens, or feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Lots to get into today. Earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Brian Schottenheimer joined AJ and Rob, and of course, Andrew Monaco was on the Blitz. And normally I like to start with Brian Schottenheimer on a Friday, but before we get to Shotty, I want to get to one of my favorite things that I heard today on the radio. That was early during the Blitz. Jason and Joe and I can't wait to weigh in on this myself. And I'm going to get into the Texans and some trouble that may be brewing in Houston that is under the radar. But earlier today on the Blitz, Micah sparked quite the debate between Jason and Joe.
Micah Parsons, that's the story, right? I mean, he's back, and everybody's talking about it. A lot of the fans wondering how should they greet Micah? Should they boo him? Should they cheer him? Should they not do anything? It's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do.
You know, it will be interesting because we know there won't be a tribute,
right?
Which is, I think, appropriate.
Yes.
There will be a lot of number 11s there. And I don't know if that's just because people don't want to buy another jersey and they've already invested in one, or they took advantage of the clearance sale prices on all the Parsons jerseys, which you see everywhere because there were so many of them, and they don't just throw those away. I was stunned that at the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame last weekend, a Micah Parsons autographed jersey sold for $400.
Wow. Now, I wonder, it was a Cowboys jersey, obviously, right? So I wonder if that's is the fact that he left, does that make the jersey less valuable or more valuable?
You know, that's a great question. And I think right now, $400 is pretty cheap for a Micah Parsons autograph.
Sure.
And if he goes into the Hall of Fame, that would be a great investment. But to buy it now, right? I mean, you know, a DeMarcus Ware autograph jersey, the bulk of his career was with the Cowboys. and his Super Bowl was with Denver. That's a little different, but
Right.
it's no different when you go to a game and you see a variety of jerseys of. You go, I can't believe you spent money on that to begin with, but and for somebody that was there 3 or 4 years, you go into a game, you put on a jersey and you go. And my rule, always buy legend jerseys, right? So that they don't break your heart, because in reality, we root for laundry.
Yeah, sure.
You're wearing my favorite. You're wearing my team's jersey. All right, cool. Love you, man. And as soon as you change shirts, I can't stand you as an athlete. That sport.
Right,
hate,
exactly.
Right? Deion Sanders was that way. Cowboy, love you. Put on that 40 Weiner crap, can't stand you. That's the way. That's the way it goes. You root for laundry. Right now, he's wearing ugly laundry and yellow pants at that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think it would be appropriate for the fans at Jerry World to boo this guy. I think they ought to give it to him. Give him hell. He's no longer a Dallas Cowboy, whether you're happy about that or not. But the fact of the matter is, he's a Green Bay Packer. I think you should boo him just like you would any other Green Bay Packer. Let's let him hear it. I'm going to be booing.
It is interesting. Jerry was asked this morning on 105.3 The Fan about the disrespectful parts of the negotiation. Not necessarily, Micah said, yeah, the video's not disrespectful. Other things were. Jerry had a chance to respond this morning.
Not at all. Not at all. I regret if he thinks there was, to him. But I didn't get that feeling in any way during any of this deliberation. And it went on for quite a while, as we all know, but it went on beyond the stuff at training camp. And so that just is not the case that it was meant to be. In terms of the sensitivity of it, I understood that from the very beginning, and this was significant to all parties concerned, significant to Micah. Those feelings are always highly sensitive in that setup. And that's not to say that you aren't sensitive to somebody that just does that 3 or 4 times in their career. I do. But I've done it hundreds of times, literally.
Yeah.
Well, he has, and Jerry lives, and I don't know if Jerry lives in a different world, or maybe
he does.
We as fans,
he's in the billionaire world.
Well, that is a different world than the rest of us. But Jerry honestly still believes in his heart of hearts that he had an offer on the table that was a great offer for Micah, and his agent told him to shove it up his ass.
Well,
and so, Jerry feels that way, so he doesn't understand why Micah might feel disrespected.
Stick it up her ass.
I wonder if internally Jerry will be booing. Publicly, he's just going to sit there and soak it all in no matter what happens. But what reception do you think Mike is going to get? That was a question asked of Jerry Jones this morning.
Well, I think, we've had numerous double handfuls of players that have returned to play for us, and players that have been with us a lot longer than Micah was. Micah, of course, to remind everybody, was here 4 years. Some of the players that we used the stories about returning to us were with us much longer than that. And so I don't think that this situation calls for a recognition. Micah's just getting started in his career. And at the end of the day, the Cowboys will have been a part of it, the initial starting of it.
And he's absolutely right. I mean, he played 4 years. That's certainly not a career, and it's certainly not a long time. And so I don't know why everybody's getting all bent out of shape by not, welcoming Micah back. The hell with him.
Well, and again, as Jerry pointed out, it's not like this guy led us to 4 Super Bowls in his 4 years with the Cowboys.
Make no mistake about it. Micah is special, and we all know he is, and he can be disruptive. But we have huge amounts of experience with the anecdotes that we've seen used on us for the last 4 years. Right. And while he does make great plays, there is also a way to approach playing against Micah, as we know, because we didn't exactly win the Super Bowl during those years. So bottom line is, when I look at playing him, I think of trying to have him as an advantage when we were playing other teams over the last 4 years. And some plays it looks beautiful, but then other plays, especially running plays, you can wish you'd have had a different formation.
Mm-hmm. In other words, we're going to run right at that guy.
At him.
Like his agent told me to do, that's what we're going to do. We're going to run right at that number one.
And dude, that's the way to get it done.
Yep.
Micah is not good against the run. The Cowboys have not been good against the run, even when Micah was there. And again, it just baffles me, all the whining and complaining and crying when Micah was traded away. Jerry's exactly right. It wasn't like they were celebrating Super Bowls with Micah here. So, now you've got an opportunity to go out and rebuild this team and let Micah do whatever he's going to do out there. This guy is not the second coming of Lawrence Taylor.
Not
yet.
I mean, at what point will you say it? At the end of his career? I mean, you look at...
So you're comparing him to Lawrence Taylor right now?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it's ridiculous is you just not giving the guy credit for the talent that he is. Everybody that gets compared to anybody along the route is compared to a great player they're projected to be like. And he is on that kind of projection. Does he, at the end of the day, at the end of his career, does it measure up to LT? We'll never know. But when you look at his start, where he's at right now, he is on pace to do Lawrence Taylor type things. And he is a game wrecker like Lawrence Taylor was. He was.
That in the regular season, yeah. I'll agree with you. Sure, in the regular season he is.
We can move the goalposts all we want.
That's not moving the goalposts. That's a fact. That is a clear-cut fact. What has Micah Parsons done in the playoffs? Not a damn thing.
Well, again, until he left or was asking for the contract, nobody ever blamed Micah Parsons for not showing up in the playoffs. It was Dak Prescott 1 against 22, which is why they lost. None of these guys with the star on their helmet has had any kind of playoff success, no matter how great they were.
Micah Parsons.
Including Micah Parsons, including DeMarcus Ware. You think Jason Witten. You look at all of the quote-unquote greats. Zach Martin.
You're exactly right.
All of them. Yeah. All these Hall of Famers.
Sure.
Or future Hall of Famers. None of them have playoff success. None of them.
And Jason's right. And nobody discredits the greatness of Zach Martin or who he could potentially be or the Hall of Fame career that Jason Witten had. Look, that is the type of trajectory that Micah Parsons is on. And you can say whatever you want and bring up the rushing stats, Jerry, or whatever it is. Sure. You know what else? Teams aren't running the ball against the Green Bay Packers. You know why? Because there's a competent team surrounding Micah. You know what Micah didn't have in Dallas? A competent team surrounding him defensively. You know why you couldn't stop the run? Because you didn't have anybody else on that defense, Jerry, which is why you went to get Kenny Clark. You know what would have been great? Adding a Kenny Clark to a Micah Parsons instead of drafting a Mozzie Smith. That's what helps make people better, is better people around him. You know what made Lawrence Taylor great? The fact that he had an entire great team around him. Yes, he is individually great. Can he be great on his own? Yes, at times. But if you don't have all those other great things surrounding you, those things can be exploited. They didn't have linebackers. They didn't have defensive linemen. They didn't have other edge rushers that could take advantage of Micah Parsons' greatness and how much they were double and triple teaming him in Dallas. And I see you, Sam, you say I'm upset. Yes, I'm upset because of the disrespect to Micah Parsons because he's not a Cowboy anymore. Like all of a sudden he got shipped off, so he's dead to you. And to be fair, it's Jerry's fault that he's shipped off. Jerry could have paid him early. Micah tried to go to him early. He didn't. And then when it was time to come back to him, he tried to circumvent his agent. And the reason you have an agent is to handle business like this with a guy like Jerry Jones, who has done 1 million of these business deals and knows how to get what's best for him, not necessarily the player, while his agent, his representative, looks out what's best for Micah. Yes, there's hurt on Micah's part because Jerry kept trying to circumvent his agent, and Micah felt disrespected by that. Jerry doesn't see the disrespect in that because he does it to everyone. It is a whole team. It is not one person. And Tom Brady won Super Bowls early in his career, partly because Tom Brady is great, but also partly because that defense was great. Having a Ty Law and a Lawyer Malloy on that side and a Richard Seymour, like Vince Wilfork, those things help you win Super Bowls. The ability to do different things and complete your team make you better. There's very few people that can do it alone. Patrick Mahomes had to do it in different iterations. Early in his career, they were lighting up the scoreboard, scoring 50 points a game. He threw 50 touchdowns in his first season. And then in these last couple of Super Bowls, he's had to do it by relying on his defense because the defense was the star of these last couple of Super Bowls for Patrick Mahomes. You have to win in different ways, and you have to have a complete and full team. The problem is Jerry Jones doesn't make complete and full teams. And as a matter of fact, the closest team that was to a Super Bowl, that team that got blown out by Green Bay, and I told you multiple times, the faults of that team, they have to get up on you early and unleash that pass rush because that team is built to play with a lead and from ahead and allow that pass rush to go after people. They cannot play in close games and they cannot play from behind because that is where teams can run on them, and that's where things get bad for the Cowboys. And it happened to them. It just happened to happen to them in that first playoff game that season. This falls on Jerry Jones. As much as Joe doesn't want to give any sort of blame to Jerry Jones, this does fall on Jerry Jones. Now, could Micah have taken less? Did he need to get the 47? Probably not. But at some point when you're disrespected, at some point you have to pay a tax for that, like Jerry did with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was disrespected. What happened? He had to pay him $60 million, and no quarterbacks touched that since. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate all y'all for riding along with me tonight. Of course, you can always be a part of the conversation, whether it's in our YouTube chat or if you want to call in, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. When we come back, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, joined the Morning Huddle and was very candid this morning with Rob and AJ. We'll bring that to you next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of Sports Star love to Fly by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Baba, what happened to that rich girl you were seeing? I'm still broken up about that. I really am. I think she was probably wealthy. All right. She had one boob.
What?
Now, there's an interesting detail.
She has one boob? One boob.
Laura, how many boobs do you have?
I have two.
He's not interested. Go ahead, Bob.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Thinking about replacing doors or windows? Well, whether it's 1, 2, or all of them, for the best price and quality, I've got the company for you. Hi, everybody. This is Joe Reinagel from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. For windows and door renovations, call and compare. Whether it's a window or door project at home, or if you're a contractor, windows and door renovations, 210-284-7888. Offering a wide variety of designs, styles, and materials. Save more with window technology that helps maintain your home's temperature, making your AC work less and your electricity bill go down. They're also selling Anderson windows, and all of their work comes with a lifetime warranty. Get the best price. Call now, 210-284-7888. Proudly veteran-owned and committed to supporting our military community. For more information, look them up on Facebook as Windows and Door Renovations. Call today, 210-284-7888.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Great conversations going on in the YouTube chat, so you can always go over there at SA Sports Star on YouTube, be a part of the conversation, or feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Earlier this morning with Rob and RJ, the head coach of America's team, Brian Schottenheimer, he joined them to talk about what happened in Chicago, how they're going to fix that poor defensive effort that they showed, and what we have in store with Micah coming back.
All right, let's go to the Buyers Barricade guest line, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds today. He is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Coach Schottenheimer joins us on the program. Good morning, Coach.
Morning. Hey, I got to laugh. I mean, you know, I just was coming in listening to your guys' segment, and it's all what the missus want.
Well, yeah,
I know, you know, literally when we get done with games and whether we win or lose, my wife she's ready with some suggestions. You know, she'll give me 15 to 30 seconds in the car to kind of unwind, and then she's like, "Okay, you feel better?" I'm like, "Yeah, I feel better." And then she just starts laying into me like, "Hey, don't run the ball up the middle on this down, and don't do this, and get the ball to Turp." And I'm like, "Wow."
Well,
I'm
so
like,
happy to hear this, Coach.
I'm so happy to hear this.
Something tells me Bill Belichick's girlfriend isn't talking football with him on the car ride home.
No, there's talking entirely different conversation, man.
Well, listen, my wife is. So listen, there's sometimes I wish she'd talk about other things, but man, she's a football junkie too, so I can't get away from it. But
well, Rob's not the master. Rob's not the master of his house like I am, Coach.
Yeah.
Like right now, I have a standalone mustache that Rob said my wife is going to make me get rid of, but I don't have to do what my wife says.
Yeah, you can sleep on the couch for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but Rob's a different guy. He whatever. So do you have to take your wife's advice, or do you just say, "Oh, sure, honey," and then go back to throwing the ball around?
Well, you know, just because there's hundreds of thousands of people listening, I'm of course going to lie and say, "Oh, I never take her advice."
Yeah, there we go.
You're damn right I take her advice. Hell yeah, I do. I want to be married for a long time.
The honest man.
All right, Coach. This has been I would guess, and I wanted to ask you this. I talked about it earlier in the show. I'm imagining this has been your toughest week as the head coach of the Cowboys, because even after the Eagles loss, it felt like a good loss. Like I know those things don't really exist in the NFL, but there was a lot of people saying, "Man, you guys, that's the defending champs. You guys hung right in there with them, could have won the game." And then week 2, even when things didn't go totally as planned, you still walked out with a win. This one, I'm imagining there's not a lot of rose-colored glasses you can put on this game against the Bears. Has this been a difficult week for you as the head coach, as far as like having to eat that bleep that comes along with being the man in charge for the first time?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously it wasn't a great game. We did not play well. We did not play well enough to win. And as crazy as that sounds, like sometimes it's easier for you to say, okay, well, yeah, we did not deserve to win the game. Hell, we turned the ball over. You know, we couldn't get, off the field on third down. We gave up, 5 or 6 explosive plays for over 200 yards. And but if you believe in the mindset of compete every day, which I do, if you believe in the fact that you're guaranteed 17 rounds of title fights, which is an NFL regular season schedule, and you trust the process, it Monday's Monday, and Monday is Tell the Truth Monday, guys. And we get up and, literally you come in and you've already seen the film because you watch it on your way home from the game. And then we go in and we make some adjustments, and the players come in, we make the adjustments, and then you move on to getting ready for a great opponent coming in here in Green Bay, and you're immediately have to move on, because the worst thing that you can do in this business is to have a hangover and be concerned about something in the past when you've got another elite team. And that's every week. I mean, it's not just the Packers, it's the Jets, it's the Panthers, it's everybody. And so, I am the same guy, try to be the same guy every day. Am I 100% with that? No. Do I have emotions? Absolutely I do. And I've got a temper. But again, disappointed we didn't play well, but at the same time excited that we get a chance to correct that on Sunday night.
As you're doing triage and prep for this week, what was the biggest concern? Injuries on the line, defense? What was the first thing that needed to be addressed on that Monday morning, come to Jesus?
Well, I think obviously, that when you talk about injuries are part of the game, and you hate to see injuries, stack up some, but it's part of the game and everybody deals with it. I would say the biggest thing is just, how do we limit the big plays on defense? Because I really feel like even in going back to the Chicago game, we're driving down the field and it's 31-14, and we throw the interception early in the fourth quarter. But I really feel like, guys, like if we can find a way to get that one in there, they get the ball that gets tipped up and gets intercepted. Like if we can make it a 31-21 game, that's where you draw off your past of the Giants game of winning close games and things like that. But the biggest thing that we've been focused on Monday, which is what you guys asked about, was, okay, hey, look, you're going to give up plays on defense, and the way the league quantifies it, you guys know it, but explosive passes are any 16 yards or more. Explosive runs are going to a catalog of 12 yards or more. But we're not giving up 16-yard passes. We're giving up 35-yard passes and 60-yard passes and things like that. And so those are the things that prevent you from sustaining success and winning games. And that's where that comes down to communication. And our communication has not been good enough. So what do? Well, as a coach, you make changes. And one of the biggest changes we've made is we're now doing more meetings with the linebackers in a room with the safeties and corners and nickels, and they all sit in little pods. And when the play runs, they're talking and they're saying, hey, okay, here's the call. It's base 3, and okay, close left. And okay, then the receiver goes across. Okay, rip, Roy, whatever it is. And to hear these guys, to force these guys to communicate, because if you can't communicate in a air-conditioned room, sitting in comfy chairs here at the Star, then how are you going to do it, when it's moving faster and it's rolling in front of 75,000 screaming fans? And the answer to that question is you can't. And so that's been the main thing for us. And I really feel like, we're trying to tighten some things up, simplify some things so we can play fast, and we need to play with confidence. And I get right now our guys are, like, man, we just got to stop the bleeding a little bit. But the only ones that can do that is us, ourselves. And I love that. That's why I've got grit tatted on my wrist, or on my hand, because it takes tough guys to play in coach's game.
Coach Schottenheimer joining us here on the program, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, one more question about last week before we move on to the next game. Down the stretch when, Dak was kind of dinking and dunking to Ferguson, I know you never want to give up completely on a game, but you guys had already dealt with some injuries in that thing. You'd already lost Booker. You'd already lost CD. Were you guys just trying to, by not going down the field, it felt like not trying to make explosive plays to get back into the game. Were you guys just trying to kind of get this game through and start getting ready for the next one at that point?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we played that game until we took Dak out, which was I think 4 minutes to go in the game. We were still playing that game to win. I think what they did a really good job of, Rob and AJ, is, and give Chicago some credit, they did a nice job, man, of playing us really, really deep and soft, and they weren't going to allow us to throw the ball over their heads. And that's a byproduct of the score being what it was, sure. Right? Like when you're protecting a big lead like that, believe me, we called plenty of shots in that situation, but if the shots aren't there, you can't be as cavalier as just to lob one up into double coverage to George Pickens, because you do feel like if you can keep chipping away at it, and then, like I said, imagine, if we can finish that drive early in the fourth quarter and you make it a 31-20. I mean, these games flip fast. I mean, hell, look at the look at the Giants game. How fast they were able to. And again, we did not do a good job of keeping the ball in front of us against the Giants, and that's why they stormed back. Whereas Chicago and their team and defense did a really good job of keeping the ball in front. But there were plenty of shots called. It's just the ball's got to go based off where the coverage kind of tells it sometimes.
You pulled it with 4 minutes to go, but Dak has not been the problem. In fact, I don't think I've seen Dak play any better. And obviously there's some things to polish up, and the interception is certainly an issue, but your quarterback is dialed in. How did you get here considering all the things he's had to deal with? Is it just health and comfort?
Well, I think, again, a lot of it comes back to just the trust that he and I have in each other. I think, that's the big part of the relationship of why, I'm sitting in this chair is my relationship with Dak, and I know him and he knows me. And, but what he's playing with confidence with, guys, is because I think, he's seeing things really clear. And when you watch his footwork, and I'm just so proud of him because he's worked so hard at getting good at some of the under center stuff that we want him to do, which I think he's done a great job with. I think we know that Dak's a guy that's going to really thrive in anything that we do, but our action passing game, our play action passing game has been really, really good. But it just, I think it shows you how hard this guy works, man. If I got to say this, I don't think I've ever been around another quarterback, and these guys are all incredible workers, man. I'm telling you, incredible. And I'm not taking away from anybody, but this guy is incredible, man. This guy works on his body 24/7. He works on studying the opponent 24/7. He works on mastering our system 24/7. And it just shows you that hard work makes a difference. And this is a guy that just has bought into, and nothing's been given to him. And he is working his tail off every week to be the best that he can be. And I think that's why you're seeing him play with so much confidence.
That was head coach Brian Schottenheimer earlier today on the Morning Huddle. You can catch that full interview at sasportstar.com in our audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. When we come back, the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, gets you ready for Texas A&M and Auburn coming off their win over Notre Dame. That plus, is there more trouble brewing in Houston than we really know? There's an inside report that says maybe there's something boiling under the surface. We'll get into that when we come back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars.
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ziprecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen. So when you need extra cash fast, go to BillsHappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to BillsHappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to BillsHappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At BillsHappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com for the cash you need now. BillsHappen.com.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition product.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thank you for the introduction, Andrew. Speaking of which, Andrew Monaco joined the Blitz a little bit earlier today as they got a big game at home coming up against Auburn. Here's a portion of that for you.
Auburn coming in, Aggies off a bye, Auburn off a loss at Oklahoma, but man, they played well against the Sooners.
I thought the two defenses were outstanding. Auburn's, I'll tell you what, it's hard to run against them. And it was funny because I think you were looking saying, well, okay, good game against Baylor to start. Yeah, you understand that Ball State, and then you're taking on South Alabama, but let's see if Oklahoma can run on them. Nope, they couldn't. They absolutely could not. And I was just thinking about this. Like those great Auburn teams have always had a number of things. Great speed on the outside, with wide receivers that you can't get the ball in their hands enough, a punishing running back, and I'm thinking most recently of a Tank Bigsby, quarterback who's hard to contain. But I always felt that one of the differences was I always felt it was a defense that they played that you felt like, even on Monday, like a punishing defense. And they seem to have that. And their D-line in years past hasn't been as good. I think it's way better, especially with their ends and their buck linebacker, and they've got some experience. But boy, I thought the two defenses in that one, heck of a test. Now, Auburn's down a couple of people. I know they lost a wide receiver, but you guys know I don't want to say reload, but it's going to be an opportunity for somebody else. Horatio Field's the one that they lost, but boy, they've got Eric Singleton Jr. who can fly. He's a transfer from Georgia Tech, and they've got Cam Coleman who he just beat the Aggies 3 times over the top last year. It's been a little bone of contention for the Aggies. That cannot happen again.
Andrew, I want to know how the bye week was. Obviously, the Aggies coming off of that big emotional win over Notre Dame in South Bend. They had the bye week. What's been the mood? What's been happening during the bye week?
So it was good. The bye week itself is really an opportunity. There's no Auburn. It's not like Auburn week that started this past Monday. So it's almost like a continuation of camp with drills. And Mike Elko was really he hit him right between the eyes. He said, look, great win. Like, you embrace things like that. Excellent job. You guys now have 0 SEC wins. That's the reality of it. You have 0. And you have to keep doing. So, we talked about Mike saying that against Notre Dame, you had to elevate during that week. Well, now it's got to stay at that level. And now you know what it takes to win a game like that against Notre Dame. And you both know that's what it takes to win in the SEC every Saturday. But they have that under their belt, right? And they understand. And sometimes that light bulb burns a little brighter when you realize, okay, here's all the work that we did, and this was the result we get. We can either kid ourselves and not do that same work, or now that we know that's what we have to do. So bye week, Mike said it was very competitive. They did a lot of 1v1, the first teams going together, and then they got away. And I think that's the big one, Joe. I really do. After Thursday practice, they didn't have to come back to Sunday. Okay, that's your little break. The key to me is always Monday, and Mike said that they were very focused on Monday getting ready for Auburn.
It's going to be a big one, a game you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Aggies tomorrow, 1:30 with the pregame, 2:30 kickoff is presented by Just Pots. If you want to catch that full interview with Andrew Monaco, make sure to head to our website, sasportstar.com. It is in the audio vault, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. When we come back, I see some Texans fan questions in the chat, plus an NFL insider says there may be some more brewing in Houston than being led on. We'll get into that coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and top users make $200 to $300 per month.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STEER25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Download the free Upside app and use promo code STEER25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STEER25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 2:30, the Aggies take on the Auburn Tigers. Presented by Just Punts. Pregame at 1:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Thank you for joining me as we get you set for high school football coming up at the top of the hour. The Quarter Moon Plumbing Heat and AC high school football game of the week, energized by Hill Electric. This week it is Churchill and Madison from Comalander Stadium. But as we close it out, the Houston Texans in a precarious spot at 0-3, and it may be a lot deeper than a lot of us think. Diana Rossini earlier on the Dan Le Batard show.
Diana, is CJ Stroud any good? What is going on with Houston?
It's a good question. I'm writing about it this week. CJ Stroud is really good. I think they are still trying to figure themselves out on offense. They have a new play caller. They have a different looking offensive line. I still think they're working some kinks out. So he's still good. I'm not on this. I'm not in the camp of he's ruining his opportunity here to get some mega extension. I still think CJ Stroud can play. I just think there's still a lot of work to be done, and there's some things going on behind the scenes that I think we're going to find out about soon.
Things going on behind the scenes that she thinks we're going to find out about soon. Whew, that, and I don't know if that's about the offensive line, if that's internal struggle, if that's Nick Caley, if there is beef within the team, or if it is Joe Mixon related and what's going on with that, because that has been radio silent since the season started. He's eligible to come off the PUP next week, 4 games, but we've heard hide nor hair, and they've been talking about him in past tense last we heard about him. So it could be anything, but things coming out from within the organization that are going to come to light, that is ominous. They need this win. They've got to get right, and they've got to look good doing it against a bad team. Otherwise, they could be in for a very, very long season. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. I appreciate all y'all for joining me today. We've got the Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC High School Football Game of the Week coming up next. Jason Minix, Nick Solis, they are going to bring you the action of Churchill and Madison. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
94.1 FM.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesome, TIX.com.
At Frost, we believe in going the extra mile, like opening more locations to be a part of more communities. Overdraft grace, which means no fee if you overdraw your Frost personal